astrological friends. Welcome, willkommen to your weekly astrology video with me. In today's transmission, we are going to be discussing this week's astrology, and we are going to break it down for all 12 zodiac signs, golden oldies. You know me, I'm Natalie, spelled N-A-T-A-L-E-E. Everyone knew it's N-A-T-A-L-E-E. And if you guys have anything to say, please utilize the live chat and the comment box down below, because I do want to know what you're thinking and feeling. Please express yourself. I invite you to do that. To learn or practice remote viewing with us, we meet once a week over Zoom over on the Patreon, link in the description box below. If it works better for you guys to have your astrology and channelings early, or to know like next week, next month, in the forward future things now, they're already published or they're about to be published on my Patreon. Go through the paywall portal of 1111 and you'll get everything that you need right now. You need it right now. You can have it right now. Okay, so I don't know your life. I don't know how much time you guys have. So that's why I'm changing things up a little bit and making things very much available for you guys for your strategy. It's kind of fun for me too, to be able to like do this like ahead of time. So for instance, normally this will be out a lot sooner, but I am recording this after the Trump thing. So I already put my little video up. We told you so. Seriously, honestly, astrologers, like I would really like to see us getting into like more of these bigger, I love when astrologers make like big predictions. All right, let me finish this. What's on sale this week? On sale is a Mercury retrograde summer journal. It's the download for your downloads via the Stan Store. All the links in the description box are below. Let's hope moving forward I can do better sticking to my own script. Okay, so welcome everyone. This is a really, really big week. I'm calling this week Meeting God Halfway. This whole week is leading up to the full moon in Capricorn, for context. However, we do have we have a lot to talk about. So let's go ahead and get started. I am ready to the next step with the filming of the Telekinesis documentary. And so I'm really, really excited. If anyone wants to follow that, follow me on TikTok, Watch Natalie. It's the same handle. Please submit your questions. You can put the questions down here, email them to me, comment on the TikTok videos. I'm really, really excited about that. It's just been how I've recentered my entire universe, is around energy mastery through telekinesis and connection with creator through telekinesis. So it'll be like a whole thing. So if there's anything specifically, if you guys want me to talk about God in the TK documentary or anything like that, or a special request, hydrokinesis, electrokinesis, whatever it is, please let me know in the comments below, or email me, or put it in a video on my TikTok, please. July 2024, the 12th, Friday, the 13th, Saturday, the 14th on Sunday. How was your weekend? I'm going to share my Venus, Pluto, Mars, Uranus story. So this is happening. I'm a Cancer ascendant, Capricorn sun. This is happening like in my 5th house of like love, sex, dating, passion, romance, play, creativity, and creative passion projects, small business, small animals, pets, but also my 11th house of friends, groups, associations, and bigger communities, online communities, people, allies that you connect with that believe like that you have the same goal as them, something like that a little bit. Goals for your own future. The Mars Uranus was happening in these areas of my life. And then the Venus Pluto were in my 2nd house and 8th house axis, which is like your money, somebody else's money, your feelings, somebody else's feelings, your sexuality, somebody else's sexuality, your skills, talents, and abilities, somebody else's. It's like where your stuff and all that stuff with you is your 2nd house, and then the other people's stuff is that 8th house, where it's also a psychic house. My Mars Uranus in Taurus, this whole weekend, I felt the Venus Pluto like desire. Like I cried a lot this weekend, you guys. I would start thinking about how much I love my friends, and I would just start like crying. And like I just really miss them and really just like craved that connection. And see, so this is how other people can take your transit. So this is like a really crazy volatile transit, Medusa. We're going to get to all that other stuff, but like, you know, it's got this like demon star attribute, and it's really like, you know, and I have Jupiter there, Jupiter retrograde. So it could, you know, it was a little bit like a little dicey, but it actually turned out that like so many of my friends, so many couldn't hang out this weekend because they were recovering from an injury or an illness. 2 of them were both going to multiple funerals this weekend. Both of them had gone to a funeral of an ex, and I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so like one of them's a Scorpio, but the other one, their song, like with them and their ex, is this song by the So happy together. The turtles. I can't see me loving nobody but you. Classic, right? And so I put it in like a video, like a background not vocal, but like a background music and like a video. And when was that? Was that like Friday night or Saturday night or something? Well, get this, you guys. So like I was just feeling like, oh, you know, Venus, Pluto, and this is like they're going to like it's so weird, like going to bury like their ex, like literally. And so I play this song, like just, you know, doing my little like astrology write-ups. Well, like hours later, um, someone that had stalked me before, like came up again, like invasively, intrusively, and referenced that song, referenced Happy Together, and it like set them off. Like, and I hadn't heard from this or anything, like no issues, no problems for like months, months. And so, you know, when you kind of like, here's what happened though. So, you know, when you like get over something and you heal, you move on, and it's like that's the thing, and then you it's like over and done, and you just don't think about it anymore because you heal and you don't, it's not a thing anymore. But then maybe something comes up that brings it back up for you or reminds you or whatever, and then you kind of you look at it and you're like, wow, I'm over this. I don't feel anything anymore. It's really not an issue anymore. That's what happened. And it was like this blessing because there's such, I'm not going to get into it, but there's so much behind that whole issue. So when that was like happening, I felt so, I was like, oh my gosh, wow. Like this would have like really freaked me out before. This would have really like, this would have like changed. I would have really, it would have freaked me out a little bit. And so it felt so good this weekend to be so like in love. I don't want to say in love with my friends, but like loving, like spiritual love, like kumbaya love, you know, one love, like big love, like that kind of love. It felt so good to have that and feel safe and feel good and feel like I'm okay. Everything's okay. Everything was okay 20 minutes ago. Everything's going to be okay 20 minutes from now. Everything will be okay. Like everything's fine. There's no, so that Venus Pluto, like for me, it's like, and for you guys over this weekend, there could have been like this perceived threat. Okay. But was that threat real? For some of you, it was a real threat. Like we know it was a real threat for some people over this weekend. But for other people, it was just like your subconscious. It's a figment of your imagination. It's a projection inside. And I say it over and over. We have the Mars. My patrons already have Mars and Gemini, the Mars and Gemini video. You guys are going to get it on YouTube soon. Well, not soon, but you're gonna get. In that I talk about for everybody about Pluto, because Mars is going to trine Pluto after the first thing Mars does getting into Gemini this Saturday. This next upcoming weekend is trining Pluto and it's with the full moon in Capricorn too. I talk about how whenever there's like a power struggle, it's never what you think it is. It's always just you and you. It's always a power struggle between like you and some idea or some feeling or some baggage or something. And so that's what I came up against. And it was like freaky because it was something so like beautiful about like my friends, soulmate, love and death and this, that, you know, and but then it got really like weird. And then the one friend that was available to like hang out and we hung out, they're popping blebs like in their lungs and stuff. Like they're like, I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm like concerned for my friends this week. Like, oh no, but everybody's okay. So for you guys, like this past weekend, you're coming into the week, this beginning, the specific first half of the week is so important. So important. So it's so very important for you guys to keep your head, keep a calm head. Because another thing that I told you guys, follow me on TikTok, it's the same handle, Watch Natalie. But with Algol and this Mars Uranus on Monday, that's, you know, the Gorgon's head, that's the Medusa turning men into stone. I know that looks at her, all this stuff. And so sure, there could be you losing your head, getting upset frustrated, impatient, angry, whatever about something, right? But it could be someone coming for your head too. And if that happens, look at what happened. He was literally like still putting his fist up and like screaming like fight, 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 like, and like I'm not saying any which one way politically, and I don't think any astrologer is, but like I don't recommend in the spiritual community clearly, but and honestly, my actual perspective, it's really quick and very non like polarizing. My perspective is we're all one big like energy consciousness, and so that's just another aspect of my consciousness. Whenever we engage with anyone else, that's an aspect of your consciousness. It's like when I say to you guys, whatever you like about me, whatever you like about me is what you like about yourself. And whatever you don't like about me is something you don't like about yourself. It's not about me. That's why I don't take anything personally. I don't take like compliments personally. I don't take insults personally. I know who I am. I like what I like about myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's where I stand with that, in case anyone really wanted to know. Trump had the same response that I told everyone to have in my Medusa video on my TikTok, where if anyone comes for your head, if anyone tries to cut your head off, you say to life, you know, universe, whatever your like opponent is, maybe it's a family member and there's a power struggle, or, you know, a work situation, there's a power struggle, or your staff, or, you know, a parent or a child, you and this kid are like at this last stand about something, you know. But if someone's trying to cut your head off, go ahead, cut my head off, 6 more grow in its place. You know, you have to have this attitude of keeping your head no matter what, you know. So it really is the beginning of this week coming into it, whatever it is, acknowledge that whatever it is making you like mad or scared or frustrated or like whatever, acknowledge that, like let yourself like feel it, but have that mentality, cut my head off, 6 more are going to grow in its place. Okay. You know, so, but that's really what you need to have. So if anybody, okay. And there's another reason for this. So the beginning of the week, Monday, there's something happening every single day this week. The beginning of the week is really consequential. It's going to come back up the end of August, the beginning of September, and then again, Halloween. And really quick, Tuesday, Mercury goes into shadow, 21 degrees of Leo. Whatever comes up like around Tuesday, and again, it's the beginning of the week, but Tuesday is the day for Mercury. Some like issue or problem or question comes up and it doesn't get answered until August 28th, 29th, September 1st. The kernel cracks open, the understanding floods in. But here's something else. So there's the shadow, right? Starts on Tuesday. But Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, 14th, 15th, 16th of July, we have the moon in Scorpio. And the quarter moon was technically in Libra on Saturday, but it's still carrying through. It's a precursor. It's foreshadowing Halloween. We have a new moon on Halloween. So if there's, again, something coming up the beginning of the week, especially if it's crunchy, something comes, it comes back thematically Halloween. 𝚘𝚘𝚗𝚘𝚘. There's a new moon where there's directions, there's a rebirth. That new moon in Scorpio, the two rulers, Mars and Pluto, are opposing each other at the 29th degree of Capricorn and Cancer. It's so, and it's interesting because Mars is with Uranus here now. So there is something really intense happening in everyone's lives. So it's a very consequential week. That's why it has to be meeting God halfway if anyone's going to make it. Monday, the 15th of July, we have the Mars Uranus. Welcome to all of us that made it here. Mars conjoins Uranus at 26 degrees of Taurus. Mercury quincunxes Saturn. The moon in Scorpio squares Mercury in Leo, also trine Saturn. Sun in Cancer squares Chiron in Aries. It's a lot happening. It's a lot. It's a full plate. So here's the thing with Mars Uranus too, is that it could help people make lightning fast decisions and take decisive action on an opportunity. So it's like, I would say people that sort of replace fear in religion with fear in astrology have a little bit of like an uneasiness or an anxiety or a distrust generally. Like, this is a general anxiety, like impersonal. And so it's like the whole reason to be into astrology is to feel better. It's to feel better about everything. It's to feel empowered, to feel like you have some kind of, agency and control and free will, and, to make the best of it. So then why don't you? With the attitude is where it has to start, to make the very best of anything. So it doesn't matter what the astrology says if you know how to make the best of it, or when you know when to wait, or when you know when to act. So it's like timing, it's perspective, it's maturity, it's all these things. So Monday is going to be real, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be a launch pad of sorts for some people. Again, I'm going to give you guys the general breakdowns through the 12 zodiac signs after this general overview, but I don't have your personal chart right in front of me at this very moment. So just remember that it stays general, and use my example of my personal, how it manifested for me, as a bit of a, how would I put this? Like, just for scale. That's what I'm trying to say. Just for scale. I'm like, okay, So like Venus opposite Pluto could have been like date rape drugs and like scariness, and but in my case it was like that little stalker thing. But it's like that opposition to Pluto, even over the weekend, harkened back to February 14th, 15th, 16th, I believe, of 2024, of this year, when we had the conjunction, the Venus Pluto conjunction. And so that opposition was like the pulling the curtain back a little bit, and really feeling things, and really feeling very, very, very strongly things. So, that's putting things to bed, putting an issue to rest, putting it to bed, or ending something completely. Like, I'm sure people did like break up and stuff, but then I'm thinking of my friends that went to funerals and buried their exes. I'm like, oh my God. Like, so it's like closure. So, okay. So back to Monday. So there can still be some closure of things this week, because we are still leading up to a full moon, which could be closing some things out. So, but Monday, some people could be taking decisive, strong, like clear action on Monday. And with the Mercury 𝚃𝚗𝚕𝚗 Saturn, that's taking another path that opens up. It's going to feel a little bit tense or disjointed. So listen, making big, great changes in life or doing exciting things, it takes a Herculean amount of effort, and maybe collaborative effort. Maybe it takes a lot of people to do something. So this is the energy that would reflect great change astrologically. So for instance, if I'm looking at like an actor's chart, if I see that they're really going to act, if they're really going to be an actor, they're going to maybe I'm going to see exhaustion and fatigue for like travel, or I'll see for a race car driver, I'll see crashes in their chart. Like, it has the energy to do something, you have to. So the same thing with like changes, when there's big changes happening in someone's life. So that's why, as the mature astrologer and the counselor, and, in a lot of moments, it's to steer the attitude and the maturation and the perspective towards making the best of it, or planning better, like timing, but then also empowering people with choice and free will. Because if it has to be crunchy energy, then you get to decide what the crunchiness is going to be. Because some people with this energy, all they're doing is getting healthier, and they're eating better, and they're working out. But this big, tense energy is just, for them, their subjective experience of it. It's like, that's enough. This is it. This is the last. I'm sick and tired of feeling this way. I'm taking my last stand. This has to change. Halloween rolls around, they're saying no to candy, and it's a power struggle with their cravings. And you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just don't want anyone to get really like, to be consuming this. Also, because I'll be putting out videos ahead of time, and patrons will get that ahead of time, and there'll be a lot more content. We're going to be having 3 videos a week on YouTube. We're going to have TikToks. We're going to have TK demos on TikTok. We're going to have stuff on Patreon that they're going to have exclusives that patrons are going to get everything early, but they're also going to get tarot exclusive and tarot channeling. So it's like, on one hand, I don't want to like encourage the bottomless consumption of tarot and astrology if it's not like helping people, and like that bingey type of like energy. But at the same time, I just want you to also know that we're here to support the collective and we're here to support humanity, and that takes a lot. So if humanity needs a lot of any content, and if you're out there thinking about astrology, tarot stuff, it's time to step it up and be X-Men, ladies and gents. Okay, so back to Monday. With Mercury also being squared by the moon, thoughts and feelings could no longer be private. With this Scorpio moon, it wants to be contained, it wants to stay private, it wants to keep the dirty secrets and the skeletons in the closet, but there could be like a lack of disclosure. There could be, an outing or something. So there could be some lines and boundaries being drawn. I would not be surprised if part of this weekend stuff is like couple stuff, relational issues. So I would not be surprised Sunday, Monday, Tuesday if people are like blocking each other on social media, if people are, if there's like digital like warfare, if there's trolling, if Mars, Uranus in Taurus and physicality, you know what I'm saying? So there could definitely be some hard lines and hard boundaries that could contribute to the tensions. People could be feeling iced out and feeling neglected. And so I would be very, very emotionally like zen. Or in like our case, like for energy mastery, guys, I'm loving Telekinesis Church and I am so excited. I'm excited to show you guys the documentary, but like, it's like the Jedi way of life. Let me just put it that way. So, all right, so that's okay. Last thing, Moon's trining Saturn and Pisces on Monday too. Very serious, very sober energy if you can connect to it, if you can focus on it. Like I said, everyone's losing their head on Monday over stuff. So it's like Tuesday, the 16th of July, Mercury enters Shadow, and that is the big news on Tuesday. 21 degrees of Leo. We're going to see, like, this is the thing. This is the, or it could be light depending on what's taking priority and prominence in your life at whatever's happening, but it's there. Whether it's obvious or inconspicuous, it's there. The thing that's going to be clarified and really course corrected at the end of August, the beginning of September. You're going to see it this week. This Mercury shadow is also referencing like an echo of last summer. So last summer, think about the issues where we weren't feeling loved and appreciated or financially compensated, or like we can't keep something together, or we're not, we can't keep, it could have been a hard time for relationships, creativity, sexuality, a difficult time for money and finances, and all that like Leo 9 stuff, just not feeling appreciated for being, for the Leo stuff. So this period of time, and it contributes this week, but this period of time coming up and in August is really going to close and end out some of those lessons from last summer, like deepen and strengthen what we got out of that Venus retrograde in Leo. Or it could be closure, where August is closing the issue out and it's like, okay, this is it. All right, So also on Tuesday, the moon in Scorpio is going to be opposing Uranus and Mars, trining Neptune before moving into Sagittarius, sextiling Pluto. So I feel like Tuesday, we're trying to keep up. We're trying to keep up when we're feeling impatient and frustrated and like there's really, really deep feelings. So it's like they're just really heightened. Everything's really, really, really heightened. It feels like the end of the world. But when the moon enters into the sign of Sagittarius and sextiles Pluto, I love that for relating to the bigger story, caring about what that bigger story is, and even getting more information or seeing how the story is actually opening up. I feel like it's bigger than we thought. Oh yeah, this thing goes bigger. This thing gets bigger. It's like, okay, whoa. I feel like we're going to have to fit more information in after Tuesday. Wednesday, the 17th of July, the moon in Sag trines over to Venus in Leo, opposes Jupiter in Gemini. Also on Wednesday, the sun in Cancer sextiles Uranus in Taurus. So we're definitely going to get more information from Monday and Sunday. So it's just interesting because Uranus was tied up in the conjunction with Mars, and then the sun pings it on a Wednesday. So there's like a follow-up to that weekend crazy energy. And we're going to see kind of like with the sun in Cancer, like it's more emotional revelations, emotional like releases, like getting out of stuck emotional patterns, or feeling better about something, or feeling like better through learning more or seeing more about, I should be keeping this up better. But like doing more to, I would say, like liberate. Like this could be a very liberating energy, but look at what liberation really looks like. It looks like a lot of tension and pain and suffering and frustration and waiting. You know, think about the person trying to liberate them from a body that doesn't feel like their own body. Think about how much you have to work, whether it's losing weight, gaining weight, taking hormones, cutting your hair, whatever it takes. Like to feel like you're trapped in your own, in anything, whether it's you're trapped in your body, trapped in your life, trapped in your situation. It's like that energy of liberation looks tense astrologically. Just like when people move, it always looks like a crisis. It doesn't matter if you want to move. It's a change of your entire environment. It has to, your chart has to look like it's going through trauma. If I know someone's going to move, if it's not stressful enough, I know they're not going to move. Or I know they're not going to be a race car driver, or I know they're not going to act, or I know they're not going to, whatever they're telling me they want to do, it has to have that, like, you know? So I love Wednesday for breaking out of like ruts and making progress. It's very progressive, and for an illumination of, like I said, something from Sunday, Monday, as well as that beautiful moon going through Sagittarius, trining Venus, opposing Jupiter. That's so open-minded. It's like taking in new information, like, okay, now we can talk about it. So it's like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, there could have been like this frustration or impatience or anger, or whatever. But like Wednesday, I feel like maybe there's some barrier that gets broken through, or some like watershed moment, dam gets released, and then energy can kind of flow. Lots of discussion, lots on the table, lots of options on the table. And it just seems like everyone's kind of open-minded. It's just open-minded energy on Wednesday. So that looks cool. And it looks like people are just like less scared. You know, with that Scorpio moon, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday could have people feeling very cagey, very, very cagey. And all, you know what I'm saying? So whatever. Thursday, the 18th of July, the moon in Sagittarius, square Saturn and Pisces, Mercury in Leo, trines Chiron in Aries, moon in Sag, trines, ooh, a grand fire trine, trines Mercury and the North Node. Nice. So Thursday with that square to Saturn, I like it. It's okay. We're reconciling the bigness of like a goal or a dream or an ideal, you know, the vision, with the practical steps that it's going to take to make that happen, to make that possible. So that just looks like a little healthy dose of realism. It keeps it like a real day. Then with Mercury trining Chiron, and then the moon making that grand fire trine, that looks like healing progress, healing through action, healing through doing something, healing through keeping the momentum going, healing through moving forward and staying moving forward in thought, in speech, in action. All of it has to be very like congruent, and I like that. So that's what I see. Friday, the 19th of July, Mars in Taurus sextiles Neptune, retrograde in Pisces, and then the moon in Capricorn. Oh, then the moon's in Capricorn. Now the moon's in Capricorn, T-squaring the nodes of fate. We're stepping it up on Friday. So this is it. This whole week is, I know it's crazy, but it's building towards the full moon in Capricorn. So Mars sextile Neptune, that's a sign of good faith. There's a sign, it's going to be one or the other. It's going to be a sign of good faith on one hand. Like, I'm going to give this a go. I'm going to give it a good shot, a sign of good faith. Or, and it depends how resistant you are to change, or if you just like dip your toe in the water of change and then pull it right back. Or it could be it can be a stubborn and willful blindness to the changes that have been trying to happen. But instead of being like a breaking kind of stubbornness, it's like a dullness, a dull block, where instead of the wall that's stopping you, it's like a soft puddle or quicksand, or it's like what's the frog or the lobster that sits in the hot water, and then it boils, like it turns, the heat gets turned up like very, very slowly. It's like that, like with that trine, or it's not the trine, the sextile, the Mars sextile Neptune could be like, I really believe in this and I'm doing it. So it's like the belief, the good faith. It's like, I believe in the change. I believe in this. I believe this is, or I believe in the progress. I believe in the momentum. I believe in what's happening. I believe in, you know, or if that Mars in Taurus is white knuckling, if Taurus energy is white knuckling this entire week, then this is like the end of Shutter Island, or this is like you sort of abuse yourself with an illusion. You're going to end up, the only risk here would be like hurting yourself through your own expectations when you knew better to not have those expectations. But you chose to believe, you chose to give the benefit of the doubt, you chose to give the good faith, but not because you really believed it, but because you just didn't want to change, or you didn't want to, you know, if Taurus, if this is like Aries and Taurus is your second house and your finances, maybe you have to level up your finances. Maybe you have to learn a new skill or get another degree or move towns or add a product or change your website, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever you're doing to up level that income, you could be like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And if you're like trying to make this revenue stream work, that's like not working, doesn't want to work, you might tell yourself like, I could put it off. I could put this off a little longer. I don't really have to do it. That, you know what I'm saying? But you're like deluding yourself, but it's like a doll putting yourself to sleep, you know, and not doing it. But the saving grace actually does come from the moon in Capricorn. It's a full moon and it's T-squaring the nodes of fate. That's a big kick in the butt to not let yourself just like lull yourself into procrastination. That Mars and Taurus is like, we really are trying to do something, but it's just like taking so freaking long. So we're stepping it up on Friday because that's when we have the essentially full moon in Capricorn, and the T-square to the nodes of fate is saying that the crossroads that we are at demand that we take a bold step forward, take a nice little leap. But here's the thing, is that it could still just be frustrating. It could be frustrating. Maybe there's things out of your control that are delaying things. Maybe it's another person who is very superstitious and you can't stop them from doing what they're going to do. You know, it's like, or maybe it's like, okay, you know, you have a family member that is they have like a health thing, and they have all these conditions where it's like, you can't do something simple like go to the grocery store or go pick up this and come back home because they have this health thing and they got to do, it's a whole big thing and a big production, and it's a, you know what I'm saying? So like whatever it is, however it manifests, the Mars and Taurus up until the very, very, very end, because it's like the Mars and Taurus met with Uranus and then gonna sextile Neptune and then going into Gemini. And you guys are gonna hear me talk all about it. It's a really long video, but the Mars and Gemini video is coming out this week. So, but the very last thing that it's doing is that sextile to Neptune. So like I said, after going through all of that, like all that frustration, and like that boiling point is that Mars Uranus, and that's either going to say, okay, like I had a temper tantrum and everything's okay now, but you know it's not. You know what I'm saying? Or it was like, okay, that was the last big thing I needed to do, and now I feel better that I did it, and I feel good about, I have the sign of good faith that, you know, things are going in the right direction. I feel a lot better because it was just bothering me, and now I did the thing, or I made the decisive decision, or I cut something out, cut something in, whatever you did or didn't do, whatever. And then that Friday Capricorn moon, you will have the oomph to meet that challenge of impatience or frustration or anger or power struggle, whatever it is. So I would say keep your head the beginning of the week and you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely okay. The moon throughout this week is going to go from Scorpio Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then end at the Capricorn full moon on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. from Scorpio to Capricorn, that's like my grandmother's old house. You would have to walk the whole length of the kitchen to turn the light off. And then you'd have to walk back, all the way back in the dark, alone. That's what this is. This from Scorpio, walking from Scorpio to Capricorn, from Sunday to Sunday. It's like that. It's like that walk. But there's nothing to be afraid of. And that's what you always realize. That's my favorite thing about any Pluto aspect ever. And I'm born with like a Mercury Pluto. So Mercury square Pluto, no less. So my favorite part about it is when you realize there was nothing to be afraid of. Like my Venus Pluto weekend, there's nothing to be afraid of. There's no fear, there's no power struggle, there's no issue, there's nothing wrong. Everything's fine. Like you realize there's no boogeyman. You realize that you're stronger than whatever you're afraid of, you know, or like there's nothing to be afraid, you know. So it's just very like Saturday, the 20th of July. Now we've got the moon in Capricorn sextiling Saturn. We've got the moon in Capricorn squaring Chiron in Aries, trining Mars in Taurus at the very end of Taurus. Then Mars goes into Gemini and immediately trines Pluto at the 0th degree in Aquarius retrograde. So on Saturday, I see us being very realistic and serious. The square to Chiron, it's a square to Chiron and trining this Mars and Taurus. So it's like we are addressing a wound, but this is like addressing a wound of disrespect or addressing a wound of lack of authority or agency, or, you know, it's some kind of Capricorn Aries wound, status, structure, or maybe even the structure itself, if you can address it that way. And then the trine to this Mars, last little sliver of Mars in Taurus, it's a reassertion of your authority. And that's why when Mars enters Gemini and trines Pluto in Aquarius, the new agenda starts to get rolled out because of the changing of the guard with the full moon in Capricorn. And this is why some people are going to be able to meet God halfway, because they're stepping into the Capricorn power and they're channeling their own specific channeling and being authentic, who they're here and supposed to be. Everyone here is supposed to be you. You're here to be yourself. You're not here to be Marilyn Monroe. You're not here to be Jack Nicholson. You're not here to be anybody else but you. So if everyone can do that, everyone just be who they are authentically, like to 110%, and like very vibrantly. And okay, so here's the thing. For instance, telekinesis is the society of the future. All of us, so that's where society is headed, where everybody will have that connection to themselves, to each other, and to every physical thing in life. So that's a part of the thing. Like me in the TK documentary, guys, do you know how embarrassing it'll be in like 20 years when like everybody can do it? If I'm like, oh my God, you know, it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is the way of the future. So for all of us astrologers and tarot readers and all this stuff, we are paving the freaking way for the humans of the future. And so the new agenda, this Capricorn full moon, June and July are big turning points. And what's happening this week is giving us really big indications of what to expect this entire summer, the rest of the summer going into the fall. Okay, so we reassert the authority. Mars in Gemini trines Pluto in Aquarius. And so it's like okay, now we get started on it. Now, okay, we did all the things. Now it's playing out. And so, like I said, the full moon in Capricorn is on one hand going to be a crumbling of things, a crumbling of the structures that are inappropriate to this current level of evolution. And it's going to play out over these last 2 weeks of July going into August. Yes, that is after July. And then we're also going to see like the solidification of other people's powers. Like personally, for me as a Capricorn, this is the last like we're going to have this last Capricorn full moon. It's actually a blue moon. A blue moon is when you have two full moons in a month, but this is like we have two back-to-back full moons in a row that are in Capricorn. So we'll call it a blue moon. But we also have Pluto retrograding back into the sign of Capricorn later this year. And what's crazy is like Monday, we have the Mars Uranus at 26 degrees on Algol and kind of like a quarter moon in Scorpio. And then we have Halloween this year, a new moon in Scorpio, the rulers opposing each other at the end of Cancer and Capricorn. And Uranus is also retrograde at that point, at that new moon on Halloween at the same degree on Algol. That's either going to be an epic Halloween party. I'm going to wait to do more astrological research, but then I might be making some predictions. So there's like like I said, like an echo or a harking back. I don't know if you heard that. A harking back from Monday the 15th of July and then Halloween. It looks very interesting. Anyway, but the Capricorn full moon, on that day, we have the sun trining Neptune, Mercury squaring Uranus, which they're going to do a couple more times. We're going to have your whole Mercury retrograde, everything rolled out for you guys. And then the next day on Monday, the 22nd, the sun moves into Leo, opposes Pluto. We're going to talk about it next week. But the full moon in Capricorn, it's at the end of Capricorn. This is a very full culminating moment of authority and power and self-possession, self-control. So like I'm saying, like me as a Capricorn, one of the things is wielding power responsibly. Because like I said, honestly, the TK, the telekinesis stuff has been just tripping my balls lately. Like it's been inexpressible for me. And I'm a writer. I'm an artist. I'm someone that expresses themselves. So I've had to really, like, only now am I really ready to, like, but to be responsible with it, number one, and then number two, to be responsible with it even more. Because like I said, it's just going to look really stupid when everyone can do it. And we're all looking back at my videos when I'm like, oh my God, it's like, it's more responsible of helping other people and helping society and helping humanity. Because when you are a leader, there's a couple of things about leadership. No one teaches you how to be a leader. There's no manual, there's no guidebook, there's no systems packet for being an entrepreneur. There's no, and that's the whole point, is that a leader is the originator. The leader is the one that channels and the one that sets the direction and sets the battle formations and all the things. And then also the leadership role is a service role. You're not the leader to be the leader. You're the leader to serve your constituents. So it's more of just like managing the resources, managing the things that are making it good for everybody. So anyone getting their glory and their feel good energy from status or power or any of that stuff, that's toxic. And that's part of what's ending and what's on the way out. When you approach leadership with sobriety and a sense of seriousness, that's a real leader. When it's not about you, it's about them. So everyone's going to have a moment where we are supposed to be stepping into a leadership role in the Capricorn area of our lives. And this is as far as we're going to be able to go. Think back to, oh my God, when was it? When Saturn stationed retrograde in Pisces, the end of June. Like, honestly, some people can only grow so much in such like a short period of time or like at all. So like one of the things you'll hear me talk about like in the Mars Gemini is is the power stuff, in the sense that if you're ever frustrated or upset, you're only choosing to engage with that part of your consciousness because you're trying to work something out. So, and I'm speaking as someone who's had authority issues. So anyone that's had authority issues, this is going to be a very healing full moon, hopefully, where you feel secure and you feel good because you have your back, because you have integrity, because you are solid, because you are firmly rooted in cosmic dust. Okay. So Mercury squares Uranus. We're going to come back to this. I like this because this tells us that whatever we're going back to either get closure on from last summer or close out or finish and stop and delete and, wrap up. Okay, this was great. Now we're done with it. Now we're sending it off. From last summer, you're going to make it so much better. You're going to elevate it. You're going to think differently about it. It's going to do a lot. It's because that Mercury and Mars are connected, and I talk about it. So, all right, let's go ahead and talk about you for every single zodiac sign and what you can expect for this week. Okay, Aries, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, Willkommen. Okay, so for you guys this week, the beginning of the week is going to be a bang up jump for your money, for your heart space, your dating life, your sex life, but also it's going to be something that you come back to. Okay, you're going to come back to this. Think about last summer, your dating life, your sex life, your romantic life. Okay, because you're going to start to get some of the themes coming up this week. So just keep your eyes and ears open for that in the beginning of the week. Then on Monday, this is when you get like the shock financially or in your self-esteem. Be careful with what you're eating. I don't think you're going to be poisoned, but maybe on accident. So just be careful of what you're eating and how you're spending. And, for some of you, it could be an opportunity to make a quick, decisive, sharp action on an opportunity to sell something and make a good deal of money for it. So I would keep an eye out for that. And then you're going to be gearing up towards the end of the week. There's going to be some nice opening up of consideration and relief that comes in the form of, like, life could show you that something has you a little bit more optimistic. Let me put it that way. At the end of the week, opening up with the Grand Fire Trine, you're a part of that because of the North Node in your sign with Sagittarius and Leo energy. So there could be something kind of like bright that opens up. But the beginning of the week, there could be some destabilization and some like heart palpitations. And when it comes, like I said, your money or your values, your heart space, your finances, and there will be more information or more emotions and more coming up in the middle of the week. And then you're going to be feeling a little bit better by the end. And it does culminate in a professional achievement for you, or a professional connection, alliance, or some kind of fulfilling, complete, you may have to show up as a spouse or as a parent or professionally in a very big, strong way at the end of this week and kind of like moving forward. And that's going to be something that is this might be like one of the final changing of the guards for Aries when it comes to how the world sees them. Does the world see you married, divorced, the owner of a company, an entrepreneur, or, this or that? This can also be a big moment for your spouses or your bosses. That applies. Okay, Taurus, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Oh, welcome to this week. This is a really big week for you guys. I hope that you guys are just really in love with your life. I hope that Tauruses, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs, I hope that you guys are absolutely I feel like when I imagine what this might be for you, I feel like you guys are probably smelling the roses with extra nostrils or something. Like, I feel like life is probably so much more vivid for Tauruses. So you guys are the ones, Monday, you're able to make a sharp, decisive action on an opportunity for the positive. Or this would be really amazing for you guys to quit smoking or stop a bad habit or start working out or, take sugar out of the diet, like whatever you want to do to basically like anything in your life. And yeah, be careful with burns and scrapes and, you know, accidents and like random. I would say with this like volatile energy, it could be anything with your body or close to your body or kind of like anything in your life. So just be a little bit, you know, aware. You don't have to be extra nervous or anything. I would say that if anything, you guys are the ones that want change the most on a conscious or subconscious level. So long as you guys are open and open-hearted, open-minded, and just honest with yourself, just like I say to everyone, if you're honest with yourself, you can be honest to other people, then you'll be fine. Then on Tuesday, you have this resurgence of something very familiar, maybe a family member or family relationship or home situation. Think back to last summer, what could have been very difficult, maybe. And this doesn't have to be like with the family. It could have just been that you're like renovating your house or moving or like, you know, maybe it's something like that. Or even this could be for you guys something that's not even you. It could be like with me where someone else takes your transit. So it could be like a family member that if they had an issue last summer, it could kind of come up again. Or, and if it does, it would come up because it's getting a lot better. So you got a lot of beauty and love and goodness. And you just, last summer, Tauruses, you guys should have filled up your emotional cups where you don't worry again with the Venus retrograde. So this is a deepening of that where you're feeling like more and more secure, more and more love and more good with the family, or you're ending and closing out, getting closure on some things. So if you had an estrangement with a family member last summer, and that was when you stopped talking, this could be when you get the closure surrounding that and are able to move forward without the heavy-heartedness or feeling sad or upset about it, or just maybe, you know, Tuesday moving forward, you get that feeling where you kind of know like, okay, I thought we were going to talk again, but we're probably not. You know, or something like that. It doesn't have to be like that, but just some kind of like emotional truth or something with the living situation, moving back home, moving out, moving whatever, and then, or just like a family member. But near the middle to end of the week, Tauruses, there's a spring of hope. Something kind of opens up for you when it comes to your, I would say, Tauruses, you guys are a little bit more open. Your psychic houses are very activated. So you're a little bit more spiritualized and more open-minded to acting on your spiritual downloads. So you guys have the fire signs on your psychic houses. So you can channel and like act on your channelings. Like I do these readings, you guys, where I will only look at your astrology chart for the psychic ability, and I tell you all about your psychic abilities. It's one of my favorite chart readings to do. So there could be some psychic activity activated for Tauruses, which is always, you know, fun and exciting. Then it leads into the Capricorn full moon at the end of the week. It's more like Saturday, Sunday. And that for you guys is in your ninth house. And this is very interesting because you guys are, this is what I'm saying, like Taurus is you are probably feeling everything so like brighter than like everybody else's. So the full moon in your ninth house, like the world, life is showing you something that you just did not expect. Like you did not think life was like this, or you did not think that life was unexpected. So there's like but also like you guys have Capricorn on the ninth house. That has to be like integrity. Like it just has to be honest. It has to be on the up and up. It has to be, you know, the truth of it. It can't, whatever you believe about life, it can't be old boy ordered. It can't be of an old order. It can't be, you know, it has to be full of integrity. This can also bring a culmination to a situation with like foreigners or foreign lands or litigious situations or anything like that. Oh boy. Hello, Gemini, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome to Commentary Week this week. You guys are starting the week big with a Mars-Uranus freak out in your 12th house of secret sorrow, self-undoing. This is like I don't know if someone's outing a secret of yours, or if you are revealing something, you're revealing something you've been thinking about, something that's been bubbling up and boiling over, and you come out with it. Or there's something aggravating you, like really getting under your skin. Or it could even be like a mystical experience. Like I could see some Geminis, honestly, like just like spontaneously talking to dead people or something. Like you could have an encounter with like the other side, like I don't even know how to say it, like the unseen, beyond the veil. Like, you know, you could have like an experience like that for you. And in the beginning of the week, and something, it's, I don't know. I mean, maybe this is something with like a foreigner, or maybe you're traveling very, very far, but this is a great moment for Geminis to immediately make a decisive decision to let something go that was like upsetting you or troubling you, or yeah, it's something just bothering you. It's like you're like, I'm done with this. This is over. I'm done with this. I'm not doing it like this. I don't like this. I don't like this situation, or I don't like this setup. I don't like this relationship, you know, whatever it is, you're like really, really, really ready to bust out. Then on Tuesday, you're going to start to get inklings of maybe something that was difficult to talk about last summer. So Geminis, for you guys, think back to last summer. The communications were strained or difficult, or it was difficult news, or maybe there was a difficult issue with like your siblings or your cousins or your neighbors or your neighborhood, or you were having a difficult time with the mentality or staying positive, or, you know, something like that. So this could be kind of like bringing that back up again for closure and healing, or to put something to bed once and for all. Maybe even like a communication thing for you to like talk to someone or talk about something. You know, Monday early in the week, that Mars Uranus in your 12th house, you could be really ready to let something go, and you may need to talk to somebody about it, or or maybe you don't feel like you can talk to anybody about something, but you should. Like this is pushing you to talk about something that maybe you just really don't want to talk about. Um, but I would reach out and I would talk to somebody. Then you are going to get some encouragement later in the week with the Grand Fire Trine in, let's see, 1, 2. Actually, yes, there is someone to talk to. You are talking to somebody by the end of the week, and you feel a lot better about it. You feel like this is interesting. This is something that like something was, I would say like early in the week, it's almost like Gemini does not want to talk about a topic, or they do not want to talk to a specific person, or they do not, you know, like or they don't want to think about it. Like there's something so like that, and then you do it and you feel so much better. So have the conversation, talk to the person, reach out, go back to the negotiating table, go back, you know, the third house could be a contract or an agreement. It could have been like a difficult what were difficult agreements last summer, or difficult negotiations, or, you know, anything like that, because that could be kind of like starting to come back up for you guys. But as early as the end of this week, you'll be talking and feeling better about it, or at least thinking better about talking about it or thinking about it or something. Leading you into the full moon in Capricorn, big deal for you guys on Sunday. This is a full moon in your 8th house. So you guys, Mercury is your ruler. So what you are rethinking and the communication stuff roped in with this 8th house full moon, this is a really big track change for Geminis when it comes to the bonds that they extend to other people and the boundaries that they keep up with other people. So I feel like Geminis could be getting back with an ex, opening the door open to an ex or a past relationship, or otherwise reconsidering who they connect with. So maybe it's not a person from the past, maybe it's reconsidering your own thoughts, or reconsidering talking about a specific issue or a specific topic, where you're like, okay, I made a judgment about this, but let me open my mind back up about it, and then maybe let me talk to like a professional or an expert in this field or about this thing. Or a therapist or a counselor would honestly be really great for gems this week. So, okay, But yeah, this is a big full moon for gems. Like you could be really connecting with people like on a or someone on a very deep level that's either sexual or psychic or otherwise intimate or financial. This could even be like an intimate financial, maybe even like financial esoterica. Like you could have, like for some gems, the beginning on Monday, that Mars Uranus in your 12th could be someone trying to attack you from behind the scenes. Don't be paranoid, but it can also be a benefactor from behind the scenes that's like fighting for you, or like a guardian angel fighting for you too. It could even be that. But okay, enjoy. Hello, my lovely cans, Cancer, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs, my brothers and sisters. Okay, so the beginning of the week on Monday, we have the Mars Uranus, and I talked a little bit about it in the beginning of this video. It's in our 11th house of friends, groups, and associations. And so I don't know about you guys, but for me, this was definitely like my friends, like going through injuries and illnesses and burying exes and going to funerals and like being betrayed, like my friend. So it could be your friends. Do welfare checks. Do welfare checks. Check in on your beloved friends. And so that could still be ongoing in the beginning of the week. There's something about your alliances, your allies, your friends, groups, associations, your comrades, your colleagues, people that these would be colleagues that support your career growth, especially if you're trying to like do anything new or different in your career because the North Node in Aries is there. Then on Tuesday, we have the Mercury shadow in the second house. So think back to last summer. Womp, womp, womp. Think back to last summer, what was going on, because there's going to be a little bit of like an inkling coming back. And so for us, it has to do with money, finances, self-esteem, the body, self-worth, dietary eating habits, but also like feelings of sparkliness, I feel, because it could also be like in the opposition to the eighth house and blah, 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 blah. So this is going to be deepening. Okay, it depends how your Venus retrograde went for us last summer. So after a Venus retrograde, I either feel like dog shit or I feel like I have unicorn pussy. Like it's one or the other. Excuse my French. It really is one or the other. Like after the Venus retrograde in Capricorn, it was terrible. Terrible. And I had such high expectations. I had very high expectations because it was on my birthday. It was the Venus star point on my birthday. I thought I was gonna be feeling like so sparkly, and no, no. So how did yours go? How did you go at the end of last summer, Cancers? Because this is a deepening of like the best of it. I had a good one. I had a much better Venus Leo retrograde than the Venus Capricorn. That was horrific. So this one's gonna be. I'm not afraid of this of the freaking Mercury bringing this up again like at all, because this is gonna be great. I'm looking forward to it. So I would say look forward to a deepening of money stuff, the positive money stuff, self-esteem, and dietary stuff, like just eating healthier or better or what have you. If it went negative last year, then this is going to be the final breaking up of you doing like retail therapy to feel better, or eating, I don't know, too much chocolate to feel better, eating your feelings, or not eating at all, or any weird eating stuff, or spending stuff or money stuff having to do with the self-esteem. It's like, all right, let's get rid of that. We're done with that. We're ready to let that go. You're going to hear me talk so much about how you need to be better in your relationships with the Mars and Gemini video coming up, cans. So honestly, you just need the amazing self-esteem. You absolutely do. So if anyone hasn't figured that out yet, this is me telling you, like, chop, chop. Then you're going to feel so amazing with the grand fire trine. Because it's going to be the second house, the 10th house, and then it's also going to be the sixth house. I'm so excited. This is just like, I mean, I'm excited because I'm a Capricorn, but like, this is just these areas of life financially, the rituals, the day to day, the career, or the marriage is working great with your schedules and the sex is amazing and the scheduling is appropriate and working well for the needs of the marriage and the self-esteem needs and the daily, okay, I got to do this, you got to do that needs. So it's, I love the how we're going into the end of the week. Then the full moon in Capricorn, cans is, ooh, it is on Sunday. It's our congratulations. Like, we went through the hardest school of learning how to relationship that astrology offers, and it's Pluto in the seventh house. So we're not completely out of the woods yet, but this is a really big moment. It's not over yet. This week is just leading up to it. We're going to have to freaking meet God halfway and walk up and do our part here on earth. Okay. And that means for us choosing the right people. I don't want to hear any Cancers complaining about any partners, okay, for the rest of freaking time. Because if there's one thing Pluto and Capricorn taught us, no, I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to share two things that I learned from my Pluto and Capricorn. Number one, pick good people. And number two, know your man. You have to know people, and you cannot understand someone if you prejudge them. Okay. So know people, know your woman, know your man, know your client, know your business partner, what they need. Don't give them something great when they wanted something amazing. Don't give them something amazing when they wanted something great. It's very, very like, and it has to be honest. It has to be full of integrity. So the relationships are going to come under that spotlight, that Capricorn, not Hanukkah Minolta, no, Zeiss lenses. They go through all these people testing the lenses. And if they go to the 75th person, they find a flaw, they chuck that lens out. Okay, this is like and it needs to be this scrutinized because it's a structural thing. We can't live in something that's just like not working. It's going to affect production, which is going to affect results, which is going to affect it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have like a spoke in the wheel that's like all bent up and stuff. So it's going to be relationships highlighted and adjustments and a final nice little hurrah. But this is a big week because it's going to help direct of what the changeover is going to be. And let me look at Halloween. Hold on. Actually, Halloween's going to be insane. There looks to be something about the kids or the sex life or the creative passion project, you and another person. It's like you and your spouse arguing about the kids, you and the creative professional person talking about what direction you want the creative project to go in, or you and your partner about the small business, you and the partner about the child, whatever. So that's going to be a thing. So work it all out now, and hopefully, if it is, because it doesn't have to be that. It never has to be like you going to bats with against the partner. It could be that you and the partner take on something together. And that's always like the best. You and your person against the world. Okay, it's a little bit, don't get, delulu, but like, Okay, was there anything that was it? Love you, cans. Till the next one. Hello, my lovely Leos, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, willkommen to your week ahead. Okay, so you guys are one of the signs that are like the most rocked by the Mars Uranus. It's in your 10th house. Ooh, of career and VIPs and parents and bosses and people at the top and spouses. And those are the people that are very unpredictable at this time. Your boss could do something very unpredictable. They could even quit. Your boss could immediately quit and step down, and you could try to step in and angle and try to take over their, looking at their office like, hey, that's a great office. Well, I'm going to put my plants over there or something like that. They could also just be just wildly unpredictable, making very strong, big decisions, and you're just like along for the ride. So just expect that in the beginning of the week, just a little bit of unpredictability professionally with your or with your spouse and or with your parents, or you as a parent as well to your little ones. Then on Tuesday, Mercury entering the shadow. How were you last summer? Like, what did you go through? How did that feel? What you were feeling unappreciated or taken for granted, or you were not getting what you wanted, or you were misunderstood, or something just was not going your way. What was it and why? This is when you are either, it depends if you fixed the problem at the end of the summer, Leos. If you fixed the problem by the end of the summer, then this rest of this summer is going to be a consolidation and like a strengthening of the goodness of how things maybe got better at the end of last summer, going into last fall. But if you resisted, if you fought it, then these next like 6 weeks, the rest of this summer clearing out is going to be the same lesson that you did not learn or that you resisted learning last summer. It's going to come back up to push you to end what you did not end about your behavior, your attitude, your outlook, something about you, something about what you're doing or not doing, saying or not saying, something. It's coming out to close it, to stop it, to say, this is the problem, stop, 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 stop. And that's true for all of us, but it's just very personal for you. So I'm trying to convey. Okay. And then things get optimistic later in the week with the Grand Fire trine. Something opens up when it comes to maybe meeting someone new, maybe traveling, maybe. I would say, especially if you had to be like an unpredictable parent in the beginning of the week, you're going to be able to be more stable of a parent to your children. Like you'll be more optimistic. Like you'll be like, oh wow, you may look forward to something by like the end of the week. There may be some indication that you can look forward to something. But if not, then this would be more of an indication that things are changing that you can't stop. Because this is leading towards the full moon in Capricorn for you guys on the 21st on Sunday in your 6th house. So this is a health issue that comes up to light, a staff issue, employees, managers, immediate supervisors, an issue with like staff or personnel, or some kind of, you may be done making like sacrifices, or you may be done like with a day job, or you may be done, it could just be a coworker leaving, a coworker quits or something, or a staff quits or something like that. You know, it could just be something basic and boring like that. But it could be that there's something that's like needing to change or has been trying to change about your daily life. So you can kind of look back to June, the full moon in June, of what like ended, or what was like maybe big and serious and heavy, or what was trying to clear off your plate. There's something else. This is like the second act of that. And it could be kind of, because Mercury squares Uranus in your sign, that this could actually be kind of, you may not see something coming. Like your daily life may change in a way that you don't anticipate, or that you didn't plan on, that you do not see coming. And it could be because of something your boss is doing, your parent is doing, or your spouse is doing. Damn. You guys might want to start watching Cancer's video, or Cancer's, because I talk a lot about Pluto in your 7th house right across from you in your relationships, because I just finished it up for like a lot of my life. Like Pluto stays in a sign for a really long time. So you guys are going to have Pluto in Aquarius for like 19 years. And so you're going to learn so much about power struggles, power stuff in relationships. But I'll be here to support you through all of that. Okay. Love you guys. Till the next one, Leos. Hello, my lovely Virgos, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, willkommen to your week ahead. Okay. The week opens up bigly for you because you're an earth sign. On Monday, Mars, Uranus conjoin in your 9th house. You guys have an opportunity with publishing, with social media, with teaching, being the teacher, mentoring, being mentored, foreigners, foreign travel, higher education, but any kind of horizon expanding thing, whether that's through education, travel, or any kind of publishing or marketing. You guys can make sharp, decisive decisions take actions. If any opportunities come up in these areas, you'll be able to just like boom, 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 boom. Now, on Tuesday, Mercury enters the shadow for the retrograde. So you guys think back to last summer. How did that go for you? There was something probably bothering you. This was in your 12th house of like mental health and spirituality. So there was something that maybe didn't sit well with your soul, or you were feeling kind of down about, or maybe you were just like missing someone or missing home, or like, you know, or there could have just been something maybe that you're processing, maybe something happening in your life at the time, but maybe not necessarily. It doesn't have to necessarily be something that was happening last summer. It could have just been something that came up to this for you to feel through and feel about it. So Mercury coming into the shadow at this point is going to do a couple things. So it's going to say this week you're either going to, okay, it depends on how you came out of the end of last summer. So if you came out like mentally fortified and you came out with more like optimism and feeling better about your mental health and feeling more like sure of yourself, or feeling a little bit better about maybe whatever was like maybe bothering you. If you surrendered it up, if you surrendered it, like, you know, everything happens for a reason, or there will be, you know, if you like told yourself something like that, or were kind of like had like a better outlook on it, this could be a very rewarding time over the next like month and a half, because it's going to deepen your sense of security mentally. It's going to deepen you feeling better about your mental health. It's going to deepen like psychic protection. It's going to deepen better sleep, like being able to sleep about something, like maybe something that was like bothering you and you're able to sleep about it a little bit better. It's, you know, it's going to deepen like all of the mental health, positive, good things. Now, if you left the end of last summer kind of like insecure or unstable, or like lacking trust in like life or something, then this is going to show you this week how and what to close out that's preventing you from having good mental health and from feeling like psychologically strong and mentally confident, you know, with like making decisions, or like whatever the thing was that was kind of like bothering you last summer. This is the time to be like, okay, I was bothered because whatever it was, you lacked trust, or you have no faith or belief system, or you have an anxiety issue, or there's like a secret, I don't know, some like some debilitation, or like a, not, I don't want to say psychosis, but there's some kind of like something there was just something. So like whatever that happened to be, this is, like I said, it's going to help you disconnect from the subconscious self-limiting belief that you had about it. Like maybe there was nothing wrong with the thing itself, but like your approach to it or your perspective on it. Or if this is like an addiction or some kind of like toxic relationship or something, then it's like, okay, you disconnect from the thing in you that's like wanting that kind of experience. Or, you know, whatever it is, it's like a flush out of the subconscious content or the karmic content, or it's a deepening of, oh, I feel so good about this. Oh, this feels so much better. Oh, this is a big weight off my chest, or this is a big load off, or this feels like how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Like you're either this week, Virgos, you're either gonna feel like, okay, things are coming into place. It's exciting. There's lots of stuff happening, but things are falling into place. You know, so if Virgos are feeling like things are spiraling out of control, sit tight. You're gonna phase out the things that are making you feel so like unstable, some kind of lack of trust or belief in universe or source, or like something like that. So gosh, that was a long part for you guys. That took a lot to explain. Okay, so then the next little part, you're gonna be feeling better. You're gonna be feeling better like immediately. Like the end of the week, you're gonna have the grand fire trine in your psychic houses. So you guys could have some psychic experiences, but really this is about you merging. Virgos are really supposed to merge and work with others, equal give and take, shared finances, shared, I mean, if you're dating or whatever, or if you're like married or something, intimacy with your spouse or partner or whatever. But the point for you guys with the nodes being here is to partner up, is to find someone else that is on the level and share something together. And you know, but here's the thing, because it's Aries, it's like you're two individuals. You know, it's you guys have to align or combine, but for yourself. It sounds strange, but it's like, but that's what it is. It's like you both have aligned goals. So just keep that like at the forefront of that, and keeping everything kind of like, this is more like comradeship where you kind of like go into battle together with like Aries and like the eighth house. It's more like, let's bond over taking up the crusade together. Let's bond over pioneering something in an industry together. Let's bond over being the first to do something together. You know what I'm saying? It's very like action oriented. You guys have the fire signs on your, well, I guess I do too, because I'm a Capricorn. Anyway, so it looks pretty optimistic. It looks like you're feeling like an uplifting, like you're looking forward to something. Something's got you feeling psychologically, emotionally. You're feeling better and better and better, leading to the full moon in Capricorn on Sunday. For you guys, for Virgos, it's the best because it's your fifth house of like your children, sex, dating, romance, passion, play, your creative passion projects, your small business. So this is a house that if you have children, they could take your transit the way my friends took are taking a lot of my Mars Uranus, this one. But your children could be having like a pinnacle achievement moment, or you creatively could be having a pinnacle achievement moment. And if that's the case, Virgo, this might be like once in a lifetime. Like Virgos could be really, this is kind of a big, like this year with the Pluto last in Capricorn for Virgos, this is like, I'm just saying it's a big deal. I'm just saying it's a big deal. I'm saying it's very, very positive. So Mercury swearing Uranus, just stay open-minded. See, there's something like I get it that like you guys can be kind of neurotic and Mercury, your rulers, and be retrograde, blah, blah, blah. But like it's okay to have faith. It's okay to have beliefs. You know, it's okay. It's okay to we'll get into it later. We'll get into it. You're gonna have a good week. You're gonna have a great week. Enjoy it. Take a deep breath. You're gonna have a great week. Until the next one. Okay, my lovely Libras, welcome, willkommen to your week ahead. You guys have the Mars Uranus happening in Taurus in your eighth house. This one's gonna sting. This one's gonna be, you're gonna feel this one. You're gonna feel it right in your gut. There's gonna be something that it's just a very strong reaction. Something's gonna get a very strong reaction out of you. That's like love, hate, jealousy, bitterness, resentment, fear, anxiety, attraction. Like it's just going to be something. All right. So you guys are going to have an opportunity where you can take sharp, decisive action and jump on it. And it could have to do with somebody else, you know, what you're sharing with them. Maybe some of you are cutting people off of your resources. Maybe someone's cutting you off of like having access to their resources. Maybe there's something happening in the life of your partner's resources where they could like lose their job, or they spend it on. I don't know. There could be something happening with that. But I also like it for Libras getting to just like give up something that's bad for you. Like you guys could literally cut out some baggage like that. Like that's what universe is asking you to do, is to cut out like a grudge or baggage or fear or an anxiety or a trauma or like something. So you guys could kind of like elevate yourselves and springboard and just like heal up real fast if you just drop it, if you let something go, if you like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know, if maybe it's illusion of control, maybe it's a power struggle, maybe it's like, if it's like a not good connection with somebody else, this is amazing because then you can let go of like an unhealthy attraction or attachment or an unhealthy way that you're sharing finances with somebody. Maybe it's like conditional. You're sharing finances with someone and it's conditional. This would be an easy, great, liberating energy for you to just like get off their support and be independent and pick a different partner or someone who is more encouraging of your independence. North Node in Aries in your seventh. You know, like there's something there. Then Tuesday, Mercury enters a shadow in Leo. So think back to last summer, what your friendship situation was like. Were you feeling left out? Were you feeling like you didn't have your tribe? Or were you feeling like maybe you were trying to get like a social media thing going and you were having like issues with it and you weren't finding like your people or your audience or what have you? This is going to be a week where you start to see inklings of either a resolution of friendship stuff or even a goal. Like maybe you just didn't know where you were going to retire or what you wanted to do, or you know, it could even be like you're solidifying a goal of yours, maybe solidifying some great friendships or some wishes coming true. Maybe there's a wish coming true that you gave up on last summer and you're like, fuck, no, shit. And then this week you're like, or a friend can come back into the picture. Or now it depends how you left the end of last summer. Some Venus retrogrades, I said this to a different sign. Some Venus retrogrades, I come out feeling like $1,000,000 and some I come out feeling crummy. So if you left last summer feeling crummy and low self-esteem, then these next like 6 weeks or so are going to show you are going to help you get rid of whatever that issue is. It's going to show, it's going to bring it up. It's going to give you the opportunity to let it go and move on, move past it. If you came out of last year's retrograde feeling amazing, then this is going to give you a lot of closure of course you're lovable. Growing up, I would always have like one Libra best friend. I would have one friend, my best friend, and be a Libra. So like you can take it from me. So that looks cool. Looks very nice. Then you get encouragement like middle to the end of the week with the Grand Fire Trine, with the friends, with the best friends, with yeah, it looks like you're chatty. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to plan. There's a lot to discuss. There's a lot happening. There's a lot going on. That looks really interesting. But yeah, you're busy with your friends and you're having fun and there's lots of discussions, things like that. Okay. Then, okay, so this is all leading to the Capricorn full moon in your fourth house of home and hearth and kith and kin. This is so hard for Libras. Like the Capricorn, the Pluto and Capricorn stuff has been just so, I feel so bad for you guys having Capricorn on your fourth house. I feel like you guys are always a little bit more than halfway meeting God. But you're so heady and brainy that it's like you're lost. Like you're more than halfway there, but your subjective experience is that you're lost. And you have no idea that you're like right there. Maybe this is part of like the natural chemistry that I have with Libras, is that we just always, we're always going back and forth. I'm like the perfect counterweight and you're my perfect counterweight. I noticed the trend, like because I was always into astrology ever since I was like a little itty bitty little baby. So when I noticed a trend, I would think about it. So I've been thinking about the Libra Capricorn stuff for quite some time. And this full moon for you, the back-to-back full moons, the blue moon for you guys in your fourth house, with Mercury squaring Uranus in that eighth house of like the baggage and then the friends and then the goals and then the like this is very much for some of you, if you have like the appropriate attitude. Like when I would go to talk to my Libra best friends, like I would mentally prepare myself and I would like prepare like, okay, this is what to say and how to say it if they're really like getting it, if they're really getting it. And then this is what I'm going to say if they're not getting it, and I got to get them to get it first before this I explain. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for some of you guys, I feel like you get it. I feel like you finally get it. And it's, I don't know if it's like a person, or if it's something happening in life, or if it's a family thing, or if it's a roommate situation, or a landlord situation, tenancy situation. I don't know if it's that you're becoming the head of your own household, like whatever happens to be, but it's emotional seed of security and having a strong bed of concrete to stand on. So I was always that for my Libras. And I have my little my little Libra henchman, and it's so great. I love it so much. My sorry. As I feel like I'm a great, I feel like I'm a great boss. I feel like I'm a great Capricorn boss to Libras. So this is like, you have like a rock of a person, or you have a rock of a life situation, and you're like, fuck yeah, I could do anything now. That's how you should be feeling, Libra. You don't feel by the end of this week like you could do anything. You have a couple weeks to clean house. You know what I'm saying? So you're either going to like take your victory lap of how good you feel and how solid it all feels, or you are going to have to do more cleaning up the karma you've been ignoring. I don't know if that's family issues or emotional issues or landlord issues or home situation, but whatever it is, it's like the old structures have to crumble away. So it's going to be one or the other. Love you guys. Until next time. Hello, my lovely Scorpio, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome to Commentary week ahead. The week opens with a bang for Scorpios with the Mars Uranus in your 7th house. So since 2018, other people have just been very unpredictable, and you do not appreciate that. You love being able to predict what people are going to do and how people think and how they feel and blah, blah, blah. Well, they're the most unpredictable right now. People, anyone, a spouse, a parent, a child, a client, a customer, any one-to-one connect, a therapist, everybody, every one-to-one connection, your audience, if you have social media, all those people are unpredictable. They need something different from you. And they are also changing. They're going through something revolutionary. And so they're the ones that are going to stimulate your growth by their growth. And so Monday, a person could cut themselves out of your life. You could cut someone out of your life, or you could have an opportunity to take a sharp, decisive action or decision in a relationship. So it could be a relationship opportunity, or yeah, I would say it's probably like more of like a relationship opportunity that you could take. It can also be other people that are so frustrating and so angering and so combative. You, Scorpio, might experience other people as being very combative, but that's all projection. There's a lot going on in your home and family life and your career place. So all the relationship stress is probably a lot of you taking it out in your personal relationship. I'm not saying that for every Scorpio. And if you're here, you're already a higher vibrational Scorpio. Honestly, like when I look at like Scorpio and Sag for like all of the astrology people and tarot people and spiritual people, those Scorpio and Sages are having a great time right now. Okay. But I look in like life and I see like Scorpios and Sages and I'm like, whew, you need some help, man. But like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to like give it to you in like a complete context, but okay. So the more like spiritual Scorps and stuff, this is probably going to be very exciting. Scorpio, so you're either going to be really excited because you are like, yeah, very exciting, best friends and lovers and parents. Like it's like an exciting time in life because you've got great people. You know, all of your axes are being lit up. So you should be having, even if you have less family members that you talk to, they should be like the quality family members. If you have less like best friends, they should be really, really great best friends. If you have less, you know, if you broke up with someone to be with somebody else, that new person's gonna be a lot better for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but it's all really, really reflective of your ability to allow evolving relationship needs to change who you are, with the eclipses going through Taurus and Scorpio, and with Uranus and Taurus. So, all right. And then Tuesday, Mercury enters shadow Leo. So think back for you guys last summer professionally. There was something either difficult for you professionally, or you were feeling very unloved professionally, or neglected by your parents, neglected by your spouse, neglected by your own career. You're probably feeling like ugly or unwanted or not appreciated, you know, not Venus in Leo needs so much, like, and this is so weird for me. This is so weird for me because like I understand it, but experientially it's very, very strange. Like the upkeep and the maintenance that Leo needs, like any Leo placements, like I think I'm giving a lot and I'm not. It's not nearly enough for the Leo. So to have Leo in your 10th house, you, whatever, even like if your career was fine and great, you probably were not feeling like it was enough. So I just want to address, validate, like speak to that part of it. Anyway, it depends how you left last summer's retrograde. That's going to help determine what you can expect moving forward and what the inkling this week is going to show you about moving forward over the next 6 weeks. If you left the end of last summer fixing the problems, fixing things in the career and making the adjustments relationally, then this is going to be kind of like a deepening of like good, positive relationships, especially with women, like in the professional space. But if you did not internalize the lesson late last summer, Scorpio, then this is going to bring up whatever the problem was. And it's going to like try to bring it up again to show you and try to get you to like fix it. And it's going to have to be like this whole bit, and it's going to be dramatic for you because it's going to be this Mercury squaring Uranus 3 times in Taurus. So you guys this week get to choose. Are you going to lock in for 6 weeks of like pain and shittiness and feeling crummy about the professional stuff? Or are you going to spend the next month and a half arguing with your husband or wife? Or are you going to spend, or are you going to spend like the next, you know, are you going to finish out the rest of the summer feeling like even more in love with your career, even more in love with your spouse, even deeper in appreciation, even deeper in love for your life direction, for creating your legacy, for creating your, you know what I'm saying? Like and partnerships are still going to have to grow and evolve, but like they'll be helpful, more supportive. Life and cosmos has been bringing you guys eccentric people lately. So it depends. And these people are supposed to like jolt you out of ruts. So if you've been taking it and helping it, it could elevate you professionally. But if you've been resisting it, and then you get encouragement middle to the end of the week with the grand fire trine. This helps you feel, this opens up either consideration or communication. There's something that you're trying to change about the career. And this could, whatever changes you're considering making at the end of the week could be very helpful and really supportive, like to the changes you need to make that'll really help the careers. I would really be very open-minded if I were Scorps for the end of the week. All leads up to the full moon in Capricorn in your 3rd house of contracts, deals, negotiations, meeting people, neighborhoods, cousins, siblings, and the mentality and the mental health and information. So this could be making a deal. This could be breaking a deal. This could be, but honestly, it's kind of a little bit more than that, unless it's like the deal of a lifetime. Then it's a big deal. But I feel like this is more so just going to be more like on the mundane level for Scorps because of the bigger things happening in Capricorn. So I feel like this is going to be like not just a deal or a contract, but like mental health, how you communicate, how you think, the quality of the thoughts that you think, sibling relationships. Are you done living in a neighborhood? Are you moving back home? Are you leaving home to move into a new town, in a new city, in a new place? Like, all of that kind of stuff for you is very, very, very big, very consequential time right now. And so, this is the last year of this Capricorn stuff for you guys. So Pluto has been that's a hard mental health thing for Scorps. It's been dark. I'm sure it's been very dark, and you're ready to be stronger than ever mentally and also in how you're communicating. This could be also you communicating something really big and important. As long as it's full of integrity, as long as it's on the up and up, as long as it's, honesty, as long as it's all the good, positive qualities of Capricorn, then you're going to be fine. It's going to be a good full moon and you're going to be great. Enjoy, Scorps. Until next time. Hello, my lovely Saggy, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, Willkommen, to your week ahead. Okay, so this Monday you have Mars Uranus in your 6th house, and this is daily work, health, routines, coworkers, managers, immediate supervisors, the day job, and sacrifices. And this could be really be careful, watch your health. There could be an accident on the day job. This can be the end of a day job, the end of something that you've been doing, like the end of work that you do for like little to no pay. Like this is like the end of like maybe not volunteer work, but it's just like the day job. It's not the career, it's just the day job. This could be the end of such a thing. You could be making some very strong, sharp, decisive actions, making decisions when it comes to these matters as well. So there might be a health thing that comes up where you need to take a decision. Or maybe you're just like doing surgery and you're like, whoa, it's like a big like surgery day for you or something. Or there could be something even happening with anyone that works for you. So it could be your staff quits or your coworker leaves, or there could just be something kind of like shocking happening on the daily life. So leave room for a loose schedule. Then we've got on Tuesday, Mercury entering the shadow for the retrograde at 21 Leo. You're going to come back to this like August 28th, 29th, September 1st. Think about last summer and what was difficult for you, either with marketing, higher publishing, travel, foreign places, foreign lands, or foreign people, foreigners, mentors, guides, teachers, or just like or anything litigious, but it's your morals, your ethics, and it's your outlook on life. So you could have been feeling kind of glum. You could have been arguing with people about politics. You could have been, it could have been kind of just like angsty. And it depends on how you left that retrograde. I've been telling other signs, like some Venus retrogrades, I feel unicorn pussy, and some Venus retrogrades, I feel like absolute fucking dog shit. And like, so it's like, I don't know. So how did you feel? How did you do your Venus in Leo retrograde last year? I did better personally with Venus in Leo than I did with Venus in Cap. That was terrible. But yeah. So if you came out of it feeling like, you know what, it's not all bad, maybe there's more out there, then this is going to be like a deepening of like your ethics and feeling really good about having like a strong heart and leading with your heart and like believing in courage and believing in doing the right thing. And, but if you left the end of last summer like more pessimistic or jealous, or like, I don't even want to say like it's bitterness, like you hate other people. It's more like you were just really focused on how you're not loved or you're not appreciated or your life sucks or Leo's like, it's concerned with you. It's your perspective, So if you left feeling like that, then this is just going to bring up like what you need to see to outgrow that so that you can appreciate your own cultivated and perfectly curated perspective, because no one's lived your life. No one's walked through what you've walked through. And that's what's unique and what we want to hear you express, you know? So, or if you were the teacher, if you were the mentor, if you were the guide, you could have felt unappreciated for what you were saying. So if you were like, maybe you were like pompous Leo talking about politics and no one liked it. So you're doing it differently with this Mercury retrograde, or you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be something like some kind of adjustment like that, and you'll see where it goes. Then you're going to feel really good about where it goes the end of the week because of the grand fire trine in your sign. This has you feeling really encouraged. Maybe your kids are uplifting you, or your creative passion projects are uplifting you. You're dating someone great, or things are going great with a foreigner, or you're just kind of feeling more optimistic about where life is going, leading you into the, I'm telling you guys, the spiritual astro tarot, Saggies and Scorps, doing great. Then this is all leading into the Capricorn full moon in your second house. So I've been telling my Saggies on Patreon, like, you guys are like the millionaire billionaires of life right now, and you have like a couple more months of it, and then it's Cap's turn. So this is your now for you guys, it's like the more full of integrity you are, the more responsible you are, the more mature you are, the more Capricorn you are in your finances. Okay. So you've been trying to learn about self-esteem, skills, talents, and abilities, self-worth, money, value since 2008. And so this is going to be a big one. You're going to really see some fireworks going off for you guys. The Mercury square Uranus, you're going to come back to that over and over again. You're going to have to take a different approach when it comes to your coworkers, managers, immediate supervisors, and or daily life, or with something with like a foreigner, or your views, or actually this is a cue. Do not argue with your coworkers, managers, or immediate supervisors about politics. Like a month and a half, Sag, like this. Okay. See you guys on the next one. Hey, Capricorn, sun signs, moon signs, risings. Welcome to the comment. Yay to our week ahead, leading to our full moon in Capricorn. Okay, so the week starts with the Mars Uranus in our fifth house of true love, sex, dating, passion, play, romance, our small business, and joy. So, like I told you guys in the very beginning, I really felt such like love for my friends, and it was like, I felt like such a dork. I was like, so but honestly, Pluto and Capricorn, and I'm a Cancer ascendant, it's a life achievement for me personally. Just speaking about Natalie, it's a life achievement that I made friends, that I have friends. It's a life achievement for me. And I have Pluto and Capricorn to thank for that. So it was just like, my heart was very full this weekend. It was a really, really nice weekend. Oh my God. So I'm sure Monday we should have Capricorns, we should be in love. We should be in love with our lives. So fifth house, it's not really love with another person. Like, I know that's where we fall in love with other people, but you have to love yourself first. Otherwise, you cannot love someone. It's like when what's that quote? You can only know someone as deeply as you know yourself. It's the same thing with love. You can only love someone as deeply as you love yourself. So just start there, Cap. Start there. Your children could be taking this transit. They could be extra sparkly and brilliant. And I mean, be careful they don't get into like an accident or anything, but they could be especially amazing, especially creative, or your creative passion projects could be especially successful. Or if you're dating someone, you could be dating someone. I would say if you start dating anyone under this influence, it may not last. This is very like Mars Uranus is like a flash in the pan. So I kind of wouldn't take anything like maybe super seriously at this time, like for better or for worse. So like the beginning of the week, Caps, like I would just see what sticks. Like the feelings, like, you know, there may be heart palpitations and all these things, but see, we could have the opportunity, a creative opportunity, that we can make a sharp, decisive decision. Why do I keep saying decisive decision? We could take some decisive action or make a sharp decision upon. And It looks very exciting, to be honest. It looks really, really exciting. And I'm excited for it. And I know that like, and honestly, this could work for an evolved Capricorn, like, yeah, Al can be kind of grotesque, but there's a lot of grotesque movies that are really fun to watch. So, it could be kind of like that, or it could be unevolved Capricorn that is in some toxic, has some shitty boyfriend or girlfriend or something like that, and is going back and forth. And this is some kind of blow up and in their trauma bonding cycle or some crazy shit. So, it could go like you either have a great love life, great children, great creativity, great passion projects, and it's exciting and it's like, there's heart palpitations, but like no one's dying, all right? Like no one. That was my joke when I was in the death care industry, when I was working at the cemetery. That was my joke. That was my joke. I'd be like, the front office lady would always freak out about stuff. And I would tell them like, calm down, bro. It's not like anyone's dying. Or I'd be like, it's not like anyone died. And they would be freaking out about, you know, the cremains. And I'm like, what? It's not like anyone died. But okay, I'll stop saying that. So, um, you either have like you're having a great time, or you may be freaking out. Like maybe your kids are very unpredictable, or you have like I said, like toxic dating person who's all over the place. Maybe they're just like, yeah, they could just be like really erratic all over the place. So I would just let's just move on, because that could be like I said, really fun and exciting, or just very erratic. Tuesday, the 16th, we have Mercury entering Shadow 21 Leo in our eighth house of bonds that we have with other people, but then also boundaries that we put up with other people, and things and all of stuff like in life. It's also baggage. So, how was the Venus retrograde last year? Telling everybody, honestly, I did better with the Venus Leo retrograde last summer than I did with Venus Cap retrograde. That almost has almost killed me. Oh, and then I also did terrible with the Venus retrograde in Gemini. That one almost killed me. That was worse. That was really bad. That was the worst. That was when my dog, Gia. Um, so this, so think it depends how you left the end of summer. Now I'm like spiraling. So think about the end of last summer and how you walked out of it. How did we walk out of the end of last summer? Because if you walked out of it saying, you know what, life changes, death, sexuality, bonding with others, rejection, oof. If we made peace with it, then this is going to be a healing balm over those wounds. And it's going to be very encouraging to show us you're doing good, Caps. You're picking the right people to be close with, or you have great, deep, fulfilling, rich connections, or you're doing right by holding that boundary and holding that line. You're doing good. Keep going, Cat. We're going to be really like reaffirmed, to continue, like to bond deeper or go deeper, or we're either doing bonds and boundaries right, or we're just doing them wrong. And that has to do with not just other people, Caps, but bonds and boundaries with everything. So are you able to have a good boundary with yourself with thoughts? Because people have a really difficult time with that. People have the attention span of less than a goldfish, and people have a very difficult time refocusing, or being honest with themselves, or letting things go, or you know what I'm saying? So it's like, how are you? How did you do, and how are you now? This week is going to show you the direction that this is going to go in. So it's either going to, like I said, be like a nice balm and make you feel better about life changing, or life is changing anyway, Caps, and it's going to bring up all of the insecurities and fears and ruminations from last summer that you had a difficult time getting out of. So this is why you might as ever people might as well just be spiritual and just do the thing, because it doesn't go away, you know? So this eighth house placements can be spinning, like ruminating, where you're just like thinking about something over and over and over again, and you're no closer to solving it or finishing it or doing anything. I'm not judging anyone. I have my moon and my Mercury here, and they're both square Pluto on my fifth. Okay, I get it. I'm telling you, speaking from personal experience, trying to help you here. You can get out of it if you didn't get out of it last summer. But if you did get out of it last summer, congratulations. Yay. You know, so it's like if you're here, you probably did get through it because you've been with me this whole entire time. And of course, I got you. But just in case you didn't, these things are gonna come up. Life is changing, and just embrace it. You're getting a second chance to do it right this time. Okay, that's all. And then there's other mundane things I could say, but that's the most important. And then we'll go deeper for the Mercury. You're going to see me go deeper for the Mercury retrograde video too. So stay tuned for that. And then we're going to get encouraged the end of the week with the fire trine, grand fire trine in our 12th and the psychic houses, 12th, 4th, and the 8th houses. So this is very encouraging of bonding, of sharing, and of healing. So whatever it is, I like it. It's going to go towards like promoting good feelings of like emotional security. Like, okay, all right, you know, we did that. We took care of that. We settled that all out, and now we're fine. Now we're just fine. Okay. What else? Oh, this is leading into our full moon, leading into our Capricorn full moon. Congratulations. Jesus, man. Joseph, oh my God. Caps, we did it. We're here. We made it. We're still standing. God bless it. So we have been burned over and over, and we just keep rising like the phoenix from the flames and from the ashes. And that's just what it's been over and over. Because when Pluto takes something away, you never get it back. So the things that we've deleted out of our personalities and characters since 2008, they're gone from us for good. And I just feel like it's been very purifying. I feel like all of those like bad things about me, the toxic things about me, the unhealthy things about me, all of that was like gunk. That was never my energy to own. It was something I saw growing up. It was something I inherited from an ancestor. It was something in my genetics. It was baggage in my subconscious. You know, like and that's my whole point of when I'm channeling and doing your tarot messages and doing your astrology, is that the whole point of all of this is energetic self-mastery and getting who you are back from, you know, who you are before the trauma, the bad things that happened to you, or like whatever. You get to have who you are. And that's where I'm at. So that's where I've been at before I even got on the internet. And as I was getting on the internet, it's like, what do I have in my life? I have who I am. That's what I have. What do you have? What does anyone else? And no one's ever going to make me feel a way I don't want to feel. Everything is my decision. And I'm telling you from like, I'm a Capricorn sun. I have a Capricorn sun. I'm just telling you from my personal experience. We've all had different experiences that are very, very personal. I'm telling you, Caps, this has just honed me, sharpened me, and just like built me from the ground up. And I built myself up from the ground up. And it's just been, like Bruce Lee says, not about the daily increase, but about the daily decrease. It's been about how much I'm shedding, how much I've had to shed, how much I'm getting rid of, how much I'm letting go of. It hasn't been creating Natalie or building that. Like it's like getting rid of what's not me and then just letting that grow and then building on that. And when you start with the truth like that, like with what Pluto wants you to do, that's why I feel pure now. Like that's why I feel like indestructible. Maybe it's telekinesis too. I can't tell. There is something that it's like telekinesis is like humbling and empowering at the same time. Because of course, and I don't feel like I thought I would feel. I'm very different. That's why I'm saying like telekinesis, it's if I come out with like the corny music and so impressed with myself, it's embarrassing because everybody can do it. And society is moving in that direction. And this is so like egotistical still for me to think of it like this way, you know? But it's really important. Honesty is really important to me, and integrity is really important to me. I will always bet on myself. I will always champion the underdog. I will always speak the truth. I will always like, there's no fear. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing standing in my way. You know, if something is standing in my way, then that's not my way. I wasn't supposed to be there. I wasn't supposed to be with that person or that situation or that city or that town or like whatever, you know? So this is our full moon where we should be feeling so good, Capricorn. No matter what. No matter what. This is our authority. We're stepping into our time. This could be a final shedding, letting go, you know, about like the Bruce Lee, the daily decrease. It could be letting go of some final things about us. It could still be adding and building to our character. It could just be a moment that we're like realizing, like looking around at our life, like, and Capricorn, if you're a Capricorn sun, moon, rising, I invite you, take my hand, my brothers in Christ, my sisters in Christ. We did it. Like, congratulations. Doesn't it feel amazing? Let's just sing Kumbaya together. Like, we did it. We did it. So, and we're doing it and we're doing the thing and we're continuing on and we're soldiering on. So it's just really important. Now we do have some craziness with the, you know, there's things changing, like life is changing, and you know, there could still be some big changes in the building blocks of our lives. You know, there could be, you know, whether this is relocation or career things, what have you, or whatever. It's like it'll be perfect, you know, because this is really just, like I said, been about our character. So when you take everything out but the truth and the honesty, and you just build from there, and you don't let and you're really honest with yourself, really with yourself, only good can come from it. Only good can come from it. And you don't worry about other people. You don't take ownership for things that are not yours. You don't like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like this is going to be such a great, okay, so let's speak to the other side of it. If this is like a wake-up call, let's say there's Capricorns asleep at the wheel, and this is like a last ditch wake-up call, last minute wake-up call these last couple months for Capricorns, then this is just going to maybe hit like a ton of bricks, because there could be some sinking feelings of regret that sink in around Halloween with a goal or a friend or a friendship or something with social media happening. Like there's, you know what I'm saying? Like there could be something really something kind of strange happening like around Halloween. And if I were to read Halloween really positively, then I would say there's probably, okay, so for instance, so like this weekend and Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the Scorpio quarter moon coming back harkens, you know, it's going to foreshadow something with the new moon, Halloween, and Scorpio. So I already know that I'm like really like loving my friends and missing my friends and like wanting to be with my friends. So I'm probably going to really miss them again on Halloween. I'm probably going to like, maybe there's one friend or maybe there's a couple friends that I'll probably, maybe we're at different Halloween parties or something. You know what I'm saying? There's probably going to be like, you know, so that's, you can kind of, but see what happens, see how it plays up over like the beginning of this week. But Capricorn, all in all, look freaking forward, because no matter what, and you guys hear me talk about it with the astrology, it doesn't matter what the astrology is. You need to know how to make the best of it, and you need to know how to plan the timing. That's it. Attitude and timing. But otherwise, astrology should be liberating and empowering. And you have yourself after all of this. And that, I just want you to know, is the prize. And then everything else is going to be a reflection and an attraction of that vibration. So don't freak out if this is like, if there's part of the decrease at this full moon. Bro, I got to, because I'm a Cancer ascendant, I got to the point with Pluto, like, if something leaves my life, I don't hang on at all anymore. There's not a little pinky, a thread. There's nothing. There's not any little thing that is going to keep me holding on to anything. I'm like, I'm so in tune. Like I'm so like, okay, I get it. 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 Like, don't hold on to things, you know? So I already figured that part out. So if there's anything, if I can impart that to you guys, if there's anything to like, if there's a decrease, because next Monday, the 22nd, the sun's going to oppose Pluto. So you can think back to Wednesday, July the 3rd. You can think back to Friday, July the 12th-ish. You can think back to those dates when it was Mercury and Venus opposing Pluto. But like, we'll talk more later. I love you guys. I love you so much, Cabs. Take good care. Join the Patreon. I do Capricorner special additional tarot readings and tarot channelings for us Capricorns. So hope you guys got a lot out of this, and I'll see you in the next one. Yay. Hey, Aqua, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, willkommen to your week this week. It's a banger of a week. Monday, we have the Mars-Uranus in our 4th house. I have my moon in Aquarius, my little alien brethrens. So it's been very emotionally, like we've been very emotionally alive this weekend. And that's where this is happening. So this can also be an energy that other people take in your life. So it could be your family members that are going through things and having big things happening in their lives, Aquas. But it could be you emotionally, be your family members going through something, roommates, tenancies, landlords, yeah, housemates, anyone you're living with, or anyone that you're emotionally close to, soul family. I love this for cutting away karmic baggage that you specifically inherited through your parents or through a parent. Love that. Aquas, we have an opportunity this week in the beginning to take sharp, decisive action on this opportunity. And it could come in the form through a living arrangement, or like I said, to be emotionally free of something and really just like something just doesn't bother us anymore. Like that's kind of that looks cool to me. So that looks really, really amazing that there could be, of course, there's supposed to be like real estate, buying, selling, moving people in, moving people out, or just like I said, being like emotionally liberated. Tuesday, the 16th, Mercury enters a shadow for the retrograde in your 7th house of committed relationships and partnerships. Think back to last summer. How did we do with the Venus retrograde in the 7th? We were definitely not feeling like partners appreciated us or other people appreciated us or like at all. It could have even been the partner or the other person that did not feel sparkly or appreciated. Personal relationships could have suffered and just like a little bit deflated, a little bit of a bummer. You could also have felt like confused, like, why don't they like me? Or why are they saying no? Or why isn't it working? Or why, like it could have just been like, just confusing, especially if you did anything with like the public or a client-based business or anything interfacing with other people, like just feeling misunderstood. So that could have played out professionally and or personally. So maybe it was just in the personal life, but not the professional, or just in the professional and not in the private. It depends how you left the summer last year. If you kind of set your relationships back on track, then this is going to be over the next like, month and a half or so of a deepening of your connections and your like one-to-one relationships and like enjoying them and having a great time. If you left the end of last year down and feeling like less confident in your relationships, this is going to bring up some issues of confidence and issues relating and issues in your approach to how to do relationships that you didn't finish fully last summer. And so it could be a little bit of both. And so just like be open-minded and go for it and just be honest with yourself. I'm always telling people to be honest with yourselves. So, but you could be especially sensitive because you have the full moon coming in with Pluto in your sign, and it's going to be kind of a thing. So, relationships, it's going to be kind of a relationship thing for you, but I think it's going to go for the better. And I'll tell you why in a second. Middle to the end of the week, there should be some uplifting positivity when it comes to friends and best friends and making plans with your spouse about the future and feeling optimistic about where life is going and positive deals or contracts or discussions or collaborations or any kind of communications related projects beginning to the end of the week, feeling encouraged because there's activity happening and there's, a flurry of communications or informations. Be very, very healing as well. Leading into the full moon in Capricorn on Sunday, happening in the 12th house of secret sorrow, self-undoing. I said secrets are all. I feel like this is going to be one of those full moons where you just can relax and you just like, relax. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's not like you have a full moon in your 12th where it brings like a mental health issue to a close, like something you were really, really worried about, or you were really, this is like an anxiety or a fear or some kind of like, maybe even something that you were worried about, like coming to light. Like this could be like your secret that you were worried about someone outing you or you could be the one to out yourself on something. You may be revealing something to the public. Mercury squares Uranus. So it looks like the other person, there could be some surprises with home and family living situations still upcoming. So you're not hearing the end of it, not by a long shot. And there is even going to be a power thing next week with another person, but it might just be, it could be something. Look back to Wednesday the 3rd, July the 12th, Friday. There might be some indication of what was going on that could maybe give you a clue to what might be going on, but like it's probably going to be something where it's like you pick the right like partner and you have to pick a direction, or you both pick the right direction, the same direction, I should say. You both pick the same direction, but unsure of how to get there, or something like that, something to that nature, something to that effect. It looks good. All right, Aquas. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will catch you in the next one. Hello, Pisces, sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs. Welcome, willkommen to your week this week. You're starting it with a bang on Monday with the Mars Uranus in Taurus in the 3rd house. This is when the communications, some texts you get, an email you open, you scroll TikTok on a video, something's coming up over the weekend and Monday and the beginning of the week. It's ongoing. It's continuing to startle you, or maybe something's making you mad or inflaming you, or you're talking a lot, or you are very forceful in your communications. This could also be like a contract or a deal or a negotiation, or let this be a proposal for some of you, maybe for, I would say more that this is a sharp, decisive action that you may be taking to say yes to an opportunity. So there's an opportunity coming up for you, potentially for some of you, that could be a contract, a deal, a negotiation, and ask something put across the table, or or a breakthrough in negotiations. If you've been in ongoing negotiations, this could be a breakthrough, or it could be that you just cut something out. You're taking something out. It could even be mentally that like you had ideas about something, and for some reason something's happening where you just immediately think something else, or immediately think something different, or immediately think a different way on something. So be careful with siblings and with like cousins and the neighbors in the neighborhood, because there could be something violent, or you could hear about something grotesque, or there could be a fight or something like that, or disagreement or something. Then on Tuesday, Mercury enters shadow for their retrograde in your 6th house of daily work and health and rituals and routines and managers, supervisors, co-workers, staff, employees, people that work for you. So think about last summer. That's going to tell you how this is kind of going to go over the next little while. So if you were probably feeling like there could have been health issues, like maybe even like a health issue that was difficult to diagnose, or there could have been mental health issues, or there could have been staffing issues, coworker issues. It depends on how you ended the summer and went into the fall of last year with that. If you resolved the health issue, if you made the adjustments in your schedule, if you changed your employees, whatever you have to change there, or got the new equipment that you needed, or like whatever. If you did all that, then this is just going to be like a deepening of how well that is working. And maybe, and it's going to be a little bit of, you're still going to be making changes, but you're going to be having an easier time with it if you came out with less mental health, less physical health, less people working for you, or like a worse schedule last summer. Like, if you didn't address any of this and you just like waited it out. Some people do that. They just wait out the transit and they don't change or do anything. If you were really resistant, then this is just going to be those issues coming back up. The health issue that returns, the scheduling issue that returns, the staffing issue that returns. And it's going to give you a second chance to correct it and amend the issue. Then you get encouragement Wednesday through the end of the week with the grand fire trine happening in your 2nd, 10th, and 6th house. So there's going to be some optimism by the end of the week when it comes to these things. You're going to feel maybe there's like a discussion, and it has to do with profession, daily life, the staff, the money, the finances. So it looks like there could be some positive optimism. You're feeling a little optimistic, idealistic. And it could be kind of healing to consider something. So there's some options coming on the table, but it results in the Capricorn full moon in your 11th house. So it looks like there is a culmination of a friendship or a goal. This could be a wish coming true. This could be the culmination of a friendship where you like secure a friend, secure an ally, secure a donor for your campaign run, secure some kind of like powerful ally. If you have Capricorn on your 11th house, so you have to have like integrity in your friendships. You have to have like everyone has to be on the up and up. Otherwise, like if you have cronies for friends, that's going to be over. Like that's going to be so over because of and it'll start with the Capricorn full moon. It started in June. I mean, it didn't start in June, but June and July, we have the blue moon in July. It's a double Capricorn full moon, even though they're in the same month, doesn't matter. So this is like the end of the croniness in your friends, or the end of you having crony friends, or the end of you having like a crony like dream or wish or something. This is so funny. I'm being like humorous like on purpose. I hope you understand that. So or like I said, some kind of dream coming true or wish fulfillment, or if you get a good cap or a good person that's like on the up and up, and they're powerful and they are responsible and they are that's a help. That could be really, I would really focus more on like the quality of the community, if this is a community, or this could be your social media, or the quality of like the friend or the group, or the quality of the connection, because other things might be kind of unstable. Specifically the staffing issues. There's something that you're trying to correct about your daily life, and that's still, even through the full moon, is going to be some kind of changeover. There's still going to be some kind of tension, or there's still going to be some kind of like something happening. But it's very, very serious. So you're going to get some very big indications. You've been trying to get this all together since 2008. your goals and dreams and wishes for the future. You could have had to really overhaul some big dreams, big wishes, big goals. Like, I could really go deeper into it for Pisces, but we're going to leave it right there. I'm going to do your special tarot in a different video. We may do some touch-up readings. Stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed, and I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will catch you guys in the next one.
I got my heart on my card again. It's really hard just to love again.